Bonjour, bienvenue. Welcome to another tutorial by Madame Carole. Today we're going to be talking about the Imparfait, partie 1. This is going to be part 1 of a two-part series. And the question for today is Que faisiez-vous quand vous étiez petit? So what did you used to do when you were younger? On parle du passé, so let's talk about the past tense. First, we have passé composé. We've already learned passé composé. And it has three translations in English. So for example, if I had the term j'ai marché, the sentence j'ai marché en français, that would translate to verb, so I walked, I have walked, or I did walk. So in French it's just one single verb, j'ai marché. In English we have three different verbs, walked, have walked, or did walk. Le passé composé is used to describe completed past actions. The imparfait, however, it also has three translations in English. It has used to verb, was or were verbing, and would verb. So for example, if I had the phrase je marchais, that is, I used to walk, I was walking, or I would walk when I'm talking about the past. So every evening I would walk down the street. C'est imparfait. It is used to describe people or things as they were or as they used to be, so description. Conditions such as setting the scene, so when we're telling a story, a lot of times we'll start in the imparfait. Once upon a time there was a princess who lived in a castle in a faraway country. And past actions that took place regularly or repeatedly. So every summer I used to visit my grandparents. En français, on utilise l'imparfait. There are some keywords of when to use passé composé versus imparfait. So for the passé composé, key terms like une fois, once or one time, un matin, one morning, samedi, Saturday, ou un samedi, one Saturday. So if we're talking about one time, one the imparfait, however, has keywords like d'habitude, usually. So usually has the idea of repetition. We're going to use the imparfait. Le matin, every morning, repetition. We're going to use imparfait. Ou le samedi, every Saturday. Again, the idea of repetition is going to use the imparfait in the past. La formation. So how do we form the imparfait? There are three steps to forming the imparfait. Step number 1, conjugate the verb in the present tense new form. So if we take the verb parler as an example, we will conjugate it as parlons. Step 2, find the stem by taking off just the ONS. So parlons, take off the ONS, our stem becomes parle. And step 3, add the appropriate ending. And here are all of our endings. So for je is et, tu, et, il, est, nous, ions, vous, y, il, est. And you'll notice that our boots are je, tu, il, elles, on, il, elle pluriel, all sound exactly the same. Et, which is really useful and helpful when we are speaking. However, they all spelt differently, so we have to remember that when we're writing out our French. And ion and ie always have an I. So for ER verbs, for example, chanter, chanter, to sing. Step number 1, find the new form, nous chantons. Step number 2, take off the ONS to find our stem, so it would be chante. And then 3, add the appropriate endings. So we have je chantais, I used to sing. Tu chantais, you were singing. Il chantait, he would sing. Nous chantions, vous chantiez, il chantait. For IR verbs, par exemple, finir, step 1 to find our new form, it is nous finissons. We cannot forget our ISS for our plurals. Nous finissons. Step 2 is to take off just the ONS, so our stem is finis, and then add our endings. Je finissais, I used to finish. Tu finissais, you were finishing. Il finissait, he would finish. Nous finissions, vous finissiez, il finissait. And for RE verbs, par exemple, vendre, step 1, find the new form, nous vendons. 2, take off the ONS and find your stem, vend, and then add your endings. Je vendais, I used to sell. Tu vendais, you would sell. Il vendait, he was selling. Nous vendions, vous vendiez, il vendait. Pratiquons. So translate these sentences into French. So number 1, we have I used to visit my grandparents in the countryside. And remember when we are visiting people, we always use rendre visite à. 2, they used to live on a farm. And 3, my grandmother used to feed the cows every morning. So you can press pause here, write out these sentences in your notes, and then come back, press play, and we'll go over the answers together. Alors, on verra. So let's look at these. Numéro 1, I used to visit my grandparents. Je rendais visite à mes grands-parents à la campagne. Yeah, so rendre visite, rendre is a regular RE verb. So we would go to the new form, rendons, take off our ONS, and then add our ending. Je rendais visite à mes grands-parents à la campagne. 2, they used to live on a farm. Ils habitaient dans une ferme. So here we're going to use dans instead of sur. Et ils habitaient. Habiter is a regular ER verb, so we go to the new form, nous habitons, take off the ONS, and add IUNT. Ils habitaient dans une ferme. Et 3, my grandmother used to feed the cows every morning. To feed is one of our new vocab words for French too. Nourrir. Ma grand-mère nourrissait les vaches le matin. Nourrir is a regular IR verb, so we go to the nous nourrissons, take off our ONS, and add our ending AIT. Ma grand-mère nourrissait les vaches le matin. Merci bien. I hope that this helped you as a quick introduction to imparfait and how to conjugate regular verbs. Merci bien et au revoir.